So, let's see here. Let's get this started. Oh, yeah. So, in the days of Gonzalo Lira, he was he a charlatan? Was he a huckster? Was he a phony, a flim-flam man, a fraud? Was he a shyster? Was he a grifter? I guess that's a better word for it. I'm just coming up with stuff, right? But, I don't know. I mean, it seems like, well, I mean, on his bio, it seemed like everything was legit. Gonzalo Lira was a writer from Chile, and then he had studied in the United States, and he had directed a movie, and everything was, lining up with what he was saying. So I don't think he was a total liar. Maybe he, like most guys, exaggerated his accomplishments. Not all guys do, but okay. Some guys might be doctorates that are Navy SEAL astronauts, and they barely say a thing. But maybe there's some guys that feel lacking in their academic and their work career. They maybe they exaggerate a little bit. I did this more. Maybe they slept with 2 girls, and they say they slept with 10 girls. Just to make them feel better. Yeah, sure. So I don't think that Gonzalo Lira was a total fraud and grifter, but I'm just saying, if somebody is on YouTube or social media and they say they're somewhere like the Ukraine, or they say they're in Saudi Arabia and you never see a desert and you just see all the time a room with 4 walls, then, it's like you don't really question the credible ones. When PewDiePie is in Japan, you see that he's in Japan interacting with Japanese people. So he's not just sitting in his room all the time, right, doing his vlogs, doing his videos. So all I'm saying is that when Gonzalo Lira did his videos where he was supposedly in the Ukraine on the front line of the war, I know they show the video where the S.A.W arrests him and stuff, and I guess that's legitimate. But all the rest of the time, he's not really outside his room that much. I mean, you could say because it was under attack by Russians, and that's why he didn't go outside much, because he was afraid of being bombed. But I don't think there was one Gonzalo Lira video where he's like interacting with Ukrainian people and walking around. And so that's what I'm saying. Say what you will, maybe he was hiding from the Ukrainian authorities, or I don't know. But anyways, that's all I'm saying. Just trust but verify. But so I did a video where he said, Ted Kaczynski's right, the Unabomber. And he said, well, my lawyers advised me not to read through the whole manifesto and talk about it. And so that video came up like before he supposedly was killed by the Ukrainians and trying to cross to the Polish border. And so, I mean, yeah, that is a video of him going outside. And, I had to look to see if it has Cyrillic you know, Ukrainian Russian alphabet on the gas station he's near and stuff like that. But anyways, he's dead, supposedly tortured and captured by the Ukrainian authorities because he was gonna, you know, be an anti-war guy, basically, anti, not going to be on the Ukrainian side of the Russian invasion, basically, which is not a popular, which obviously is not a popular position to take. All right, so we could give our dogs just a little bit of bananas before we have an official breakfast, huh? Tied you guys over. So, yeah. So somebody's like, I'm in Arizona, but they never show a cactus. It's kind of like, all right. They never show the mesa or whatever. If they say I'm in Florida and you never see a palm tree, I mean, it's just kind of, yeah. All right. Wow, that's good from the butter. I mean, I'm not saying to prove that I'm in Texas that you have to see, you know, a cow or a cow field or something. But I was thinking to myself, why would Coach Red Pill, Gonzalo Lira, the Chilean-American writer and director and blogger in the manosphere, why would he be afraid to discuss the Unabomber Manifesto when it's published by the Washington Post? It's everywhere. It's worldwide. And, yeah, you know, I really didn't get it. I was like, yeah, I know the guy was a killer, but he's dead and all that stuff. I was like, well, it's all in the transcript now. They got miniseries about it. They have movies about it. They published the novel about it. They published his writings. It's everywhere. The shit. I mean, it's everywhere. It's not like this is some hidden, you know, underground knowledge or something. So after my second video, reading the Unabomber Manifesto, analyzing the age-old question, was Ted right? Not about killing people, but was he right about his industrial society and his future technology manifesto? Was he right about that? Okay. Was he right about men and women losing their autonomy to the system, to the globalists, to the government, to corporations, and not maintaining freedom for we the people, by the people, for the people, essentially. For individuals, i.e., us, just, regular folks. Or was it the ravings of a madman lunatic, and it had no bearing or prophecy on today's world in 2025? So that was really, or any bearing on the future, the 21st century. In other words, yeah. So the basic thesis, the basic premise of the question is going to be: was Ted right? Did he call it? Did he call it? Yeah. So was Ted accurate in his observations and his future visions? Yeah, so I got this weird thing from Google Alphabet this morning on Google Alphabet YouTube. It goes Alphabet YouTube. I'm sorry, Alphabet Google YouTube, because that's the order of the structure of that corporation. And so I got the shit. Got a piece of lint or something flying around here, and it's go away. Oh shit! It caught on fire. Fuck. Oh well. I was trying to prevent that, but oh well. Smelly. It was only a small piece of lint, but it still kind of stunk. And our washing machine's broken, so I'm gonna be wearing the same shit as a favor to my mother. I'm just gonna wear the same clothes for the next 5 days. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna shower. It just means I'm gonna until we get the washing machine fixed, keep the washing light by just wearing the clothes. So it wouldn't be possible. If I had a retailer 9 to 5, it would not be possible to not shower. Your shit would start to stink. So, I mean, if you did not clean your clothes, people would go, "Ooh, this guy's stinky, dude." Oh, this is smelly man. You don't want to be labeled that guy, because it's not a fun place to be. You don't want to be the whale, the fat man either, when you're barely can run or something, and you can barely move a few inches and you're fucking sweating and shit, stinking. You don't want to be like Brendan Fraser in The Whale, right? Like, oh shit, I can't even pull down my pants to take a shit. No one wants to be that guy. So. That's a heartbreaking scene, right? It's not just when in The Whale, just when he can't take a shit. It's like a heartbreaking scene just from the get go. Okay, got my tea done, so we can increase our quantity. All right, so it said, "We have taken down your video." This is from Google Alphabet YouTube. But we're not going to give you a warning or a channel strike because Because you probably didn't know that this was against the community guidelines. And it said, what were the community guidelines rules? It says it was supporting a criminal terrorist organization. Supporting a criminal terrorist organization? Okay. First of all, I think the glaring, obvious thing about this is that there is no Ted Kaczynski organization. It's not like Al Qaeda. There is no Unabomber gang. There is no Unabomber terror cell. There is no Unabomber criminal mafioso. So, yeah. So that's the glaring thing. So I just put it on appeal, so I could finish doing the Wheeler Readers and finish the manifesto and come to the conclusion, was Ted Kaczynski right about modern society in 21st century and leftism and technological evolution, etc. Okay. So I suppose those videos will be reinstated. I guess I'll win. I think I'll win the appeal. And it's not just because of the First Amendment. It's just ludicrous. Ted Kaczynski's dead. So there is no Unabomber organization. There is no Unabomb gang that I know of. So ABC reinstated the show. Sinclair and Nexstar has not reinstated the Jimmy Kimmel Show live. Yeah. And he still hasn't beat Johnny fucking Carson. So if he gets fired or canceled, he still fails and he still doesn't beat Johnny Carson. And he's still a shadow of Johnny Carson's greatness. And he's still a shadow of better comedians' greatness, like Craig Ferguson, Conan O'Brien, etc. So he's still a failure, regardless. So Nexstar and Sinclair will not forgive Jimmy Kimmel for comparing, for saying that the Charlie Kirk shooter is a MAGA supporter, is a Trump supporter. Yeah. It's not just the 77 million people that won't forgive Jimmy Kimmel for that, but it's also that it's in poor taste to lie, to constantly lie all the time like Jimmy Kimmel has done over the last 10 years. He should have been yanked years ago. Right. I think Jimmy Dumbbell, Jimmy Kimmel, sellout, is going to get fired eventually. Or the other option is that resistance is a non-violent form of rebellion. So boycott. You can boycott ABC. You can boycott Disney. You can boycott ABC Disney. You can boycott Star Wars. You can boycott Marvel. All that. If they do make another Indiana Jones movie, you could choose not to buy it or go see it. I don't think they will because, Harrison Ford's like 85 or something. 82 years old or whatever. All right, I'm going to get this started. So for my video takedown, I expect that my video will be reinstated because I haven't violated any community guidelines. There is no Unabomber organization. So it is not forbidden information. So there you go. There it is. Let's get started then. I was thinking today we're going to have scrambled eggs and Canadian bacon. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, I think it's inevitable that he's going to get let go by ABC Disney. So, by the Walt Disney Corporation, ABC. Sinclair and Nexstar, they control 20% of the market share. They're none too happy. They're none too happy about a young guy who's clearly a communist, Marxist, leftist with that ideology that's dating a guy transitioning into a woman, a transsexual. A lot of people were very unhappy that Jimmy Kimmel suggested that this was a right-winger or this was a Donald Trump MAGA supporter. It wasn't Donald Trump and the FCC that took down Jimmy Kimmel. It was Jimmy Kimmel and ABC Walt Disney that took down Jimmy Kimmel and Nexstar and Sinclair. It is Jimmy Kimmel's constant lying and Trump derangement syndrome that has destroyed Jimmy Kimmel. His hatred of Donald Trump has destroyed Jimmy Kimmel. What he means is that if you hate someone and it festers long enough that it doesn't become a positive thing normally, unless you're fighting Adolf Hitler or something, and you need the hate for the fuel. But if you hate someone irrationally, just because they exist or they're challenging your political party or viewpoint, then that hatred festers into a derangement, a delusion that these people like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert they can't escape from. And eventually it destroys their careers, their lives, and it takes up their time. They spent 10 years railing against Donald Trump. That's 10 years they're never going to get back. If I spent 10 years supporting Donald Trump, I'm fine with those years that I've spent. I didn't lose a thing. People will only cry for time that they wasted or lost or were robbed of. They'll never cry over time that was well spent. All right, so then we'll get Yeah, people do not usually regret things that they did do. It's things they didn't do, right, on their deathbed. So one day, when Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers, when they're on their deathbed, they'll think, man, I spent 10 to 15 years of my life in Trump derangement. Maybe, if they have an awakening, that will occur to them. If they don't have an epiphany one day, then they'll say, oh, I did it for Joe Biden and Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton. And then they'll just die. Like, I'm a Democrat for life. And then maybe before they die, they'll say, keep the Democrat Party going, baby. Yeah, something like that. Blue forever. Some shit. Whatever the last words are going to be, right? Maybe some people don't have any last words. Maybe they just die and they just go on the morphine, on the drugs, on the drip machine. The left wants to blame Donald Trump for everything that happens to Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert or Letitia James or any of the Trump witch hunters from 2019 to 2024. The hunters find themselves hunted and they want to cry about it and they want to whine about it. That they're not going to get what's coming to them for their constant lies and deceptions, falsehoods. I think that sometimes justice is late, but justice always arrives eventually, usually. Yeah. Justice may be late, but it does arrive, usually, eventually. So Jimmy Kimmel is a smug, arrogant, overconfident, overbearing douchebag. And he thought he could just say whatever. And he could just lie to the American public and get away with it. And how's that working out for him? Well, he got a show back by ABC leftist Walt Disney. How long is that going to hold? Probably not for very long. Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are still in the fucking garbage toilet. Yeah. Some of the leftists on MSNBC were telling me, oh, well, Jimmy Kimmel has a $20 million, 20 million subs on YouTube. Yeah, but there's 340 million people in the United States of America. There's 8 billion people in the world. I mean, show me the demographics that's really a good thing. So Jimmy Kimmel's losing millions and millions of dollars every year for the ABC Walt Disney Corporation. I can't see how long they're going to be able to keep him. You know, even if he does cry and apologize and do a dance or whatever the fuck he's going to do tonight. It would be fine in a world where Obama and Walt Disney controlled the entire world or something. If that were true, then that'd be okay. If Barack Hussein Obama and the Clintons controlled the entire globe with Barack and Michelle and the Walt Disney Corporation, that would be just fine. But that's not the way the real world works. They don't control the entire... The Democrat Party doesn't control the entire planet. So, problems for them. Now, reinstating Jimmy Kimmel wasn't about freedom of speech. You don't have the freedom to fucking lie on a national television program. The Charlie Kirk shooter was not a MAGA supporter or Trump voter, not in any way, shape, or fucking form. Jimmy Kimmel should be fired for lying to the American people on that basis alone. I predict that he will be fired eventually, that the ratings will get so low, maybe not tonight, because people love to watch a good dumpster fire. They might go back to see how he cries and whines. That might give him a little boost tonight. Unfortunately, I would go the direction of a full boycott, and then they would lose money, and then he'd be fucked faster. Unfortunately, some people like to rubberneck when they see a flaming ship or a car. They like to see the bodies pulled out of the wreck. And they like to see the people on the stretcher. They like to see the carnage and the fire and the twisted metal and everything. So, unfortunately, you know, can't help that part of human nature. That's just kind of almost inevitable. But Demi Dumbbell is going down one way or another. That lying tool of the Democrat Party, he's going down in flames. And there's nothing and nobody that's going to stop that. Because in the end, he did it to his own damn self. Four eggs. Okay. Give them too much, these girls? Let's see. See how many I got. See how many the girls got. Ooh. Screw that up. Bum, bum. Dum, dum, dum. Let that cool off for the dogs. For the dogs. All right, put this on. And then the Canadian bacon. Like the John Candy movie. I don't even know if I'll do a toast for this. This looks pretty rich right here. So, waste not, want not. No, but what was the first saying like that? Some guy kept saying like a mantra. I'd say, Johnny likes a green car, and I was like, well, you know, Billy likes a red car, and then Chris would say, to each their own. And then I'd say, you know, one guy's Presbyterian and the other guy's Baptist, and then Chris Miller would say, well, you know, to each their own. And I guess that was that one of the first, or was it my stepdad who would do a regular mantra? He would say, you know, it ain't rocket science. He would say that one all the time. You know, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Maybe that's one of the original ones. So we put a little dash of the salt and pepper here. Dash. Yeah. A dash and a splash of the salt. Okay. Then when it cools off, tomorrow it's probably going to be flooding down in Texas. All the Wi-Fi is down. It's flood down in Texas. Oh, my internet went down. No, it was all the telephone lines are down. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Can't talk to my baby. He would have said Wi-Fi if they had the internet back then. Not. We might have a Jimmy Kimmel fired celebration show in the future. So, what do you want to do with these Canadian bacons? Maybe just, you know, get them a little browned. The old MTV, the Generation X and older, well, and millennials may remember, Downtown Julie Brown, the video jockey on MTV back in the day. Downtown Julie Brown. That sounded pretty suggestive even back in the day, huh? Downtown Julie Brown. Oh. Okay, you ready for breakfast? Okay, breakfasty. There you go. Time for breakfast, go. Enjoy. All right. Flooding down in Texas. All the Xfinity is down. My Comcast wouldn't come back up. First world problems. Get that browned, like Downtown Julie Brown. A bit. When I was a kid, I even thought when I was like 10 years old or something, I thought, oh, that's a little suggestive, isn't it? It's a little suggestive, yeah. So it does sound like a porn star name. Downtown Julie Brown. Yeah. Cook these up. Canadian bacon. Get you a Canadian bacon. Maybe less coffee, probably. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. I think that's about it. We just want to get it. Yeah, get that gang going on right there. Yeah. Okay, y'all. That's good. We'll forgo the Scate latte for right now. No tea, no Scate latte. But we are going to have something. We are going to have something good. Tonight's the Mega Millions lottery tonight, $451 million. Yeah, I got my special numerical sequence. Oh, get some of that OJ. Oh, yay. Have a terrific Tuesday. Peace. God bless.